This video is for people who have big dreams, big goals in life, yet they still keep putting things off. Hello everybody, Enzo here and welcome to vlog number 2 of the Strivers Club, and today we're talking about procrastination. Now in the industry I'm in with coaching, this is rife. You see people that want to change their lives, they're motivated, they've got reason. They're trying to avoid pain or they're trying to go towards something they really want to achieve. That's on day one. They have this epiphany like, right, I'm gonna change things and I'm gonna do it right now. But then sometimes they let things go. You talk to them a week after and they say, yeah, I meant to do it, but then I didn't get round to it. The weather wasn't right. I got a bit busy. And the snowball begins. Only for like a month later for them to get the kick up the rear again. All of a sudden they realise, oh, I've got to do it, I really got to do it. And you see this yin-yang. I wrote a blog about it recently actually on the site. This yin-yang type of approach, motivation, where they're up one day, motivated, and then the next day they're not. And we're not going to talk about motivation per se here. We're going to talk about you putting things off, or people putting things off. If you're watching this, it's probably something that I'll say suffer. Suffer's not the right word, is it? But you suffer with, and it's something you do on a consistent basis. You know there's certain actions that you've got to take that will help you achieve this goal that you're striving for. Yet you keep putting them off. There's certain days when you do it, but most of the time you say, oh, I can do it Monday. Thinking that on Monday you're going to be this person who is all of a sudden motivated and will take action like never before. You just see yourself in the future saying, oh, that person will do it. There's one problem with that. The problem is, it's still you. All you're doing is picking yourself up and putting yourself on a different date. You're presuming that future you will do everything perfect and they'll work their ass off and do everything they can to do it. But usually you get to that Monday or tomorrow and you're in the same situation. You put it off again to another future date. It never gets done. Or if it does get done, it's just, it's because all of a sudden you've changed something, but then you fall for the same again in the future. It's like a constant cycle of putting things off. And, we all do it, by the way. I'm not pointing fingers here. Everybody does it. I'm just saying that it's one big thing that I notice that is one of the biggest hurdles for people. It's just putting things off and not doing them and not taking the actions that need, because it's very simple to succeed, right? You have this goal that you've got to succeed. You're here at the moment. You got to take a series of actions that take you closer to that goal. Boom, done it. The problem is the series of actions. We often know what to do, but it's getting ourselves to do it. That's what this video is about. And I know for sure that if I can just help you, give you a technique, or just remind you as well within this video of how important it is and how the brain works and why we keep doing this, then hopefully you will follow through and you'll start to take those actions that are needed, because that's what it's all about. Just every single day, one step forward. But if you're talking yourself out of taking that one step forwards, the marathon's never going to be complete. Now, the first area to talk about are our decisions. The decisions we make, the micro ones, every second of the day, are building blocks to how we're going to be that day, how we're going to act, how we're going to see things, how we're going to translate everything that's happening. All right, so when it comes to putting something off, we're very good at deciding whether to do it by stacking lots of reasons in, for and against. And then with those reasons, we come up with a decision of whether to do that action or not. So if you go into the, let's get the whiteboard out. Here it is, right. This is how we make decisions. I'm going to draw some scales now, okay? Right then, this is it. Okay, so, say we got somebody who wants to go to the gym. It's got to Monday and they've already put it off to Monday. They're on Monday now. It's the afternoon and they're saying, right, I knew I said I was going to go to the gym today, shall I go? The brain goes into a process of working it out. Shall he or she go? Let's just say it's a he. The person says, the man goes, okay, the benefit is I'm going to look good when I go on holiday, which is about a month away. That's a benefit. We're going to put it here. That's a good thing. He's weighing it up. But that's the only thing. It's the only thing he's got to say why he's going to the gym, because he'll look better on the beach when he goes in a month's time. The problem is he's got loads of things that he's stacking up on the negative side, or the not so helpful side, like I don't know where my trainers are, my sneakers. I haven't washed my workout top. I haven't had a shower and I look a mess. It's been a hard day at work. Let's just put another 2 in there. What else could it be? It's raining outside, so I'm going to get there and look like a drowned rat. It's going to be busy. I've left it so late, it's at the peak time, it's going to be really busy, it's going to be stacked full of people, so you can't get on the machines or you have to wait. So all of a sudden, his brain, or himself, is making an equation. He's saying, shall I go or shall I not? The fors and the againsts, exactly here. But as you can see, what's happened is it's outweighed this, so then this tilts, this arrow, that's what that's supposed to be, goes this way, this goes down, should we say, and he's going to say, no, I'll go tomorrow, because I'll make sure I've eaten right before, so I've got more energy, I think the weather's better tomorrow, I'll find my shoes, and you know, all this comes. And then he gets to tomorrow and does the same again. But that's how we make decisions. Now if you just compare that to somebody who goes all the time, and they'll stack this side a lot more. They'll visualize what they look like. They'll visualize coming out of the gym and feeling better. They focus more on the future. Let me put this back. But that's what we do. So we stack things, right? So we have all these reasons why we don't need to do something, or when actually we do. This all happens in a split second, by the way. It's not like, oh, okay, every single decision is I'm gonna go through this weighing scales process. It doesn't do it. Like, it happens very quickly. The blink of an eye, you've already made your mind up, but it's the reasons behind that. Still conscious, and fueled by your subconscious, but it's just this evaluation all the time. That's what we need to break. If there's a certain thing that you know you should do, I know Enzo, I've got to take action in this way because it will get me what I want in the long run, but I just can't get myself to do it. Why? Pick something right now. Pick something that you know you should do, and on a consistent basis you're putting it off. This could be that cold call you have to make, you know, that sales call to somebody. You know it'll make a difference if it went right. Or it could be in your relationship. You've been with that dog now for so many years, and he or she is detrimental to your health, your well-being, your happiness, but you're still in the relationship because you've weighed it up and you say, okay, the negatives are I'll be on my own, and will I find anybody else and all this, and then actually, it's not too bad. It'll make the decision to stay again. I mean, can you imagine if you had a kid with that person? Then it'd be bad. Start to fuel the reasons why you should get out of it. And there's so many people, there's millions of people out there that will actually bring happiness to you. That's the relationship side of it. It could be the workout side of it, going to the gym. It could be something about leaving your current job and pursuing your goal, putting that off because you're a bit scared, when actually you can do both of them at the same time. But just pick one. You know, at the end of this video, pick one and say, what am I doing? Why am I putting it off? What am I stacking? The reasons. Okay, I've got probably a nice little reason, but then the reason to not go for it, I'm not going to do it. This is where you need to interrupt the pattern that you've been running for so many years. And we all do. But I'd say, if you can't quite think of something right now, or at the end of this video, start with the small things. The very next thing that you put off, that's what you're going to attack. That's what you're going to go, oh, hang on a minute. What am I doing here? What has caused me to put it off again? How am I seeing this? How am I evaluating it? Is it a fear? Maybe there's a fear there in the back of my mind that's saying that I can't do it because, like that cold call. But this is something we're going to talk about in the future, but really, if it's a fear that's holding you back from taking that action, some kind of fear, even going to the gym, because you've got to work out and get sweaty in front of all people, you're getting judged, you think, because we're just desperate for approval. Again, another thing we'll talk about in the future. But if there is a fear, and just realize one of the rules of life, of success, is when you've got a fear, the best way to get over it is to do it, and do it again, and do it again. And the mind gets to a point where it goes, you know what, this isn't as bad as I thought it was. Why the hell didn't I do this in the first place? That's what you want to experience more. Them kind of epiphanies of like, actually, the thing I feared, the thing I built up big in my mind, and all these years I weighed up to say I won't do it, I'll do it another day, when actually I'm bullshitting myself because I just got to do it to find out. To get good at it, I've got to do it. You know, you've always just got to do it. But usually, we talk ourselves out of it. If it is a cold call, we'll say something like, okay, maybe I should do a little bit more research on the internet just to find out how to best cold call, instead of actually doing it and finding out for yourself. again, another issue, another thing. But what we're talking about today is, as soon as you find something, the next thing, if it's not, you can't think of a big thing, the very next thing you put off, and I'll tell you, it'll happen in the next hour probably, grab it. Say, interesting. What did I do there? How was I seeing it? How was I evaluating it? And break it. Reframe it, change, start to stack up the reasons why you should do it, why you must do it. Project to the future. Have you done it already? You have done it, and how good you'll feel. Project to the future and say, okay, now I know I'm closer to the overall goal and the feeling of that. And all of a sudden, these negative ones, these niggly things that are stopping you do it, will start to fall away. You'll teach the brain to go there first, to project, rather than to feel that you've got all these tiny little excuses why you shouldn't do something. The more you practice this, it's like a muscle, the better it will get. To stop procrastination, it's all down to you. It's going to be a conscious thing, okay, to start with, while you're evaluating and seeing how you're processing things. And I'll tell you what, as soon as you start to break this, you'll start to see yourself doing it in other areas. You'll stop procrastinating in you'll put procrastinating off, if that makes sense, in all different areas, because you'll get this new muscle. You'll start to become this active action machine, and you get addicted to that. Before you know it, you're starting to make a list, ticking them off, and you're saying, look how much I've done today. That's far more progressive, far more addictive than putting things off. Because you're not protecting anybody by putting things off. You're just putting them off so they're going to hurt even more in the future. If that's how you see it, use that. Well, that's it for today. Just a very quick tip. And I hope it helps in some way. Let me know, and I'll see you next time.